Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Bitcoin has performed a phenomenal monthly candle close. So now, is Bitcoin ready for even more upside going forward? Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future and let's dive right in. Phenomenal candle close. Just like I said at the very beginning of this video, phenomenal candle close. And I'm going to tell you why, because this was a resistance, right? Earlier this year. So around February, I believe. This is where we rejected. But then ultimately, in the month after that, we claimed the same resistance, the same level as a support. So you can see back-to-back change here, back-to-back shift in dynamics from resistance to support. And then in the month after that, you can see that this was still a support, which of course gave way as a support, giving way to a breakdown, to that crash. And now, months later, we've performed a beautiful U-shaped reversal, a curl up in price action that you just love to see when you see recoveries, lower lows here in the candle wicks, but then translating into higher lows in the following month. So a shift in sentiment back to back. And in fact, if you want to really get fancy with your TA, lower lows and higher lows, this is a diamond-like reversal. And in fact, if you want to get a bit more technical about this, then this could be classified as a prolonged kind of V-shaped reversal. If you connect the lower lows and the higher lows, this forms a wide V shape. So not your typical V-shaped reversal, which is extremely volatile, but on a monthly time frame, you could say this is a less volatile sort of V-shaped reversal. But in any case, we've curled up back to a very key area of resistance, then support, then lost support. Now we've actually performed a fantastic, phenomenal monthly candle close just above this area of previous resistance, meaning that this is no longer a resistance, meaning that this is now being tested into a support, meaning that this is now in the process of a retest attempt, and this being a resistance previously is no longer a resistance anymore because we are now turning this resistance into a new support. Bitcoin is now in the process of doing that, and that's fantastic because until this region, really, if we look at the monthly time frame here, until this region of around 57, so just below 60k, so just below a psychological round region, until that 60k region, just below it, if we successfully turn this into a support, then there is little resistance from now to just below 60 in the way. So really perfect, really phenomenal price action here, especially since we got that MACD crossover, which I mentioned in the previous video. Bitcoin really is setting itself up for a nice uptrend from this point. And yes, this is the major resistance to break just below 60k, but you could argue that this is also a resistance to break, which is just below 50k, 51k. But then again, this is just a upside wicking resistance, and upside wicking resistances tend to be a little less stronger than actual candle-bodied resistances like this one right over here, especially since we have many data points at around this cluster of resistance, giving us an overall idea that this is going to be a stronger one, definitely so, than this one. So once we successfully retest this area of support, as a support indeed, then that's going to springboard us back to those 50k regions where we might see a bit of rejection, but ultimately I do believe we'd be able to break past that towards the higher price levels in the 50ks. So this phenomenal monthly candle close is phenomenal because it's setting September up already for a nice candle close, for a nice retest attempt. And this parlays into my analysis about a potential unremarkable September, because if you're seeing this retest attempt being in the process, this could take a month, right? It could take all of September to just wick into this support area, gain support here, hammer out a base here, and just hover around here for a while, maybe downside wick a bit, you know, maybe even do something like this, wick down. Even if we were to wick something like this, that would be still fine as long as we monthly candle close above this green area. Whatever the volatility we see here, and I talk about this more in the newsletter, whatever the volatility we see here, that's just going to be technical hammering out of a base, a technical retest attempt before we can move higher. And October tends to be a strong month for Bitcoin. So once we've hammered out that base here, we could see a strong October potentially. And if it's not October, then we could see a strong November. So perhaps October could bring us something like this, and then November could bring us something like this, for instance, to revisit those 60K regions. Whatever the case may be, it's important to note that this is now a retest attempt and Bitcoin is positioned really well for further upside. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed this one and would like to see more content like this going forward. I'm Rekt Capital and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.